Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Jakobdoesathing. You might remember me from Retrothon 2021, where I did some Proto 10 commentated like Fasta. Today, we are not doing Proto 10, we have something completely different. This is Rockman Mega World, or Mega Man the Wily Wars, as you might know it as. It's a compilation of Mega Man 1 through 3, but on Genesis, and completely remade from the ground up. It's insanely amazing, but insanely broken in some ways, which you'll probably be abusing a lot. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's get to it.
And I'm Max86, I'll be here helping out with commentary. Good luck, Jacob.
Thank you. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Right. So the first thing people want to know is how similar are these games to the NES version? Well, in many ways they are similar, but then they got the great bass weapon that the Genesis has. So we start with Gutsman here, and as you get the first strat that you'll see is here is we can use our menu button to get rid of recoil damage. Not get rid of the damage frame, but get rid of the knockback, so that it will basically barrel through some of the enemies in the game. And I'm sure you all remember these dreadful platforms. Well, they're still dreadful. They're a little bit easier, I would say, in the Genesis version. It's a little bit more predictable when they're going to come down. So as you can see, in terms of movement, we're back into the traditional Mega Man. No sliding, no charging, nothing fancy. There's a good demonstration of our pause glitch, we'll call it, is probably a good name for it. Here we go. The Gutsman stage is pretty short, but your health is still a concern overall. Taking that little small health there is definitely welcome. The big eye was nice, just from underneath it. And if you're used to Mega Man 1 from the NES, well, yeah, there are still enemies in the hallways. There we go. So the refill there is kind of welcome. The Gutsman fight is actually kind of difficult if you get off script. So one thing that this game has is a lot of lag, and this fight in particular, whenever you don't get hit, basically there's more lag than when you do get hit, or if you shoot too many shots on the screen. Kind of a weird thing. I think it's because Mega Man's sprite blinks, and when it's off screen for that moment, there's a little bit less lag. You need Manix way louder. Hold on. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me better now. I do have a quiet voice, so part of that is my fault. Good job on the Guts stage. Only took a couple hits. That's great. Guess we're getting to everybody's favorite Batman. And the music is still good. I'll let the chat decide if it's better than the NES one, though. Tough call. It's a good one. So we can do similar strats here where we can jump on corner of ladders, but Mega Man kind of jumps a little higher, I feel like, in this one. Maybe it's just the size of his head. In case you haven't noticed, the size is a bit large on the Genesis. And we can do the neat corner jump here. 1 try, 2 tries, 3, 4. And he did something really neat there. So in this game, when you walk off on a ledge, Mega Man's velocity for a few frames resets back to 0. So you can float and actually turn around and go back on the platform that you were standing on. So it looked like he was going to fall, but he actually turned around and managed to grab himself back onto the ledge. So that was pretty cool. Susie's screen is kind of annoying. We usually just damage through it because we don't want to wait. We're speedrunners. Who would want to wait? Alright, take the safety health here. There's a really cool strat here because who needs ladders when you can just free fall? Free fall. That's not the tone of the song, but you guys understood what I was doing. Alright. So Cutman in seconds, what does that mean? Well, we got some big old mean blocks that we can throw at him to make the fight real quick. We have to be careful though. There's kind of a lot of lag in this fight, and you have to be careful with how you throw your block. There we go. Good job. Yeah, missing that block means a really long fight because Cutman only takes one Buster Shot damage in this game. And it just takes forever. Alright. So as you can see, the game sort of saves after every stage, like a typical, you know, modern indie game, Shovel Knight style file saving, but that's why we have to actually delete a file and start from fresh when we want to speedrun this category. So we start fresh and everybody's eating. Everybody remembers these dreadful jumps. Twilight Man. And it's just a really, really long, vertical, challenging level. Unfortunately, these green guys are a little bit slower than on the NES, so you can kind of outpace them. We got our friends, the Yokus, that everybody loves, right? Chat, everybody loves. Hey, first try corner jump, good job. So the safe strat is going to the right there onto the blocks, but why not go to the left where it's fun? The Goku blocks. Or what about the BOGO blocks, the buy one get one blocks. Alright, here's our friend the magnet, and guess what? We don't need to do no fancy zip to get it. We just crumble the wall as intended. And here's our magnet beam, and the magnet beam works very differently in this game. So we still use it as a stepping platform, but it does generate quite a bit of lag and spawns real slow for longer beams in Genesis, so we actually use it more like small stepping platforms, as you can see there. See, here you can see an example of what happens when you shoot it out longer. And one thing that we may only see a little bit of here, you noticed Jacob going up the ladder and he was already past the ladder and still climbing. There's actually no vertical limit to this game in theory when you're climbing vertically. So you can in theory like keep using magnet beams and climb like forever off screen if you know where you're going, and then grab something and just sort of teleport there. But navigating blindly, like who does that? Like Dragon Warrior stuff? Alright. This is like, man, and he sucks. There's no other words to put it. He's kind of not scripted at all. It's like very, very difficult to manipulate him, and he still does the nasty amount of damage that we don't like. But we'll be fine here. He does take 3 hits. So sometimes he'll jump over you, sometimes he'll shoot, sometimes he'll jump and shoot. Oh, that was better. If only it would have went that way the first time. I would elect not to go into that stage ever again for the remainder of this run. That's a pretty bad pun, isn't it? Alright, now we're headed to ice. It is getting cold, so this level is more and more like what it feels like outside a lot of places. Here we go. These little enemies, you want to shoot their heads because their body will keep running if the head is alive. And here there's a little bit of lag management, so Mega Man actually moves faster when he's out of the water, so you want to do like high jumps when you can. Coming up to some more Goku blocks. I'm gonna have to pick up better names. We went with Goku, Yoku, Bunkos, Riku blocks, like Final Fantasy. Alright, this is the screen that everybody dreads. This is the platform size screen. Now the difference, one interesting thing here is you can stop the refill, always a good safe light. The platforms are a little less annoying on Genesis. You have more. There's not really any of that, like magically getting disappeared through blocks. Or through, that's what's important. You can elect them to just taking damage. It is possible to wait a moment there and just walk under them, but who does that? So the Eleg Beam, as you can see, does a ton of lag, and you can only have one on screen. Iceman Fight, same as the NES. You can do a little jump, and 2 shots. There we go. No more Ice Stage. Boop boop blocks? I'm not sure, Steve. We'll have to put that one up to vote. That is the sound effect, though. Fireman. I also enjoy the Fireman music, but I gotta give it to the NES for this one. I just think it's too good on the NES. So we're gonna use a bit of elect weapon here, as you can see, it shoots in 3 directions, which is perfect for when we're lazy and we don't want to shoot things when we're on the same level as them. Good example here of using the damage boost. And not getting knocked back. Here's a good example of what I was saying, that you can grab the ladder off screen and just sort of have a smaller climb. For those who are wondering, no, there are no zips, fancy zips off screen like you would in Mega Man 1. There are a few zips and glitches in Wily Wars, which I believe there's an incentive of if you want to get to see them. Jacob will showcase them for you after the run. Here we go. There's 2 strats here. You can either use the elect and destroy through everything, which is what Jacob is doing. The other strat is using the ice and sort of freezing the bomb on screen, and then it can't spawn another bomb on screen because you already have one on screen. We're gonna freeze the columns there. Oh. Fun fact about this screen, you just have to run right. Even if they're shooting, it'll miss you all the time. Fireman, he's kind of a little bit harder in this game. He leaves a fire on the ground wherever you were standing at the time of shooting. By the blade. Or sorry, no, it's like halfway into the direction or something like that. So you have to adjust your distance constantly to make sure that you don't get hit. A damageless fire. Good job. Alright, Bomb Man, which honestly, if you look at his face, to me, he looks like a Simpsons character. But we'll get another chance at that. This music's kind of chill. Chill bomb. The Fleamen are just as annoying as they ever were. And we don't care about the bombs, and unfortunately we took our first death of the run. Now, go ahead. Oh yeah, that doesn't count, that's just part of the run. Alright, cluster bombs, nobody cares about them. Just damage boost through them. You kind of have to watch. You lose a bit of momentum when you're jumping, so it can bring you into the next hole. Break face. Let's find out. Yeah, it does kind of look like that cooler. I'm not gonna. Everybody's got better ideas than I do. Reason the joke is you want to walk around, and he can follow you all the time, which is another. Okay, we're getting into the last portion of the stage already. Cruising, mega cruising. No fancy zips or shenanigans here. Just climbing up. Here's the hamburger enemy. Come on. Who doesn't call him the hamburger enemy? One more Sniper Joe, and we're going to switch to fire, which is Bombman's weakness. Here there's a specific spot you can fall, or you can just blow them up. Alright, here's Breakfast Man. Kind of a little harder on Genesis just because he has such long iframes and lag. So like he just gets to do more things. And just like that, we're done with 6 robos. I will say one thing though, Wily Wars does win in the eyebrows department. We're gonna find that out real shortly. I think Wily has this good thing going in this one.
Dr. Wily.
Up so far, Jake. There's the eyebrows. Alright. The oh so famous Wiley One song. To this day, I still think, as a kid, when hearing this song, is the time that I was the most nervous when I was playing a video game. Every time I'd get here, I'd be like, oh man, I made it here. It's gonna get really hard. One thing about the elect, we can break blocks with them, which is a lot faster than grabbing the block in front of them. The unfortunate miss freeze here. It's actually possible to go without the freeze here. There we go. That's a nice jump. Switch back to elect here because there's some little fleas that like to jump right on you. Kind of a scary move at a room at a glance here. We'll be using the magnet beam to, because we don't want to trust these little platform guys. Who decided we're going to trust the platform guys? And this climb is actually more difficult than the NES I find on Genesis. There's not a lot of room to stand on those beams. Good job getting that with not a lot of beams is perfect. Very easy to get stuck in there. Alright. The easiest of all the devils. This one is kind of annoying. So basically what we're trying to do in this one is we're trying to hit him twice with some timing shots. We're only going to get one here, but that's okay. So if you time your shots, you can only have one leg beam on screen at a time. So if you shoot your shots with just the back end of the beam hits the eye, then you have time to shoot a second one. Oh, that was real close. As you can see, there's a lot of lag and it's like varying. So like sometimes it'll start going faster and it'll be slower, and it can get hard to dodge. I was sure you had it there. The window is pretty tight to do it. Going for one hit at a time. When you're not in position to do it, you're not in position. So you want to get at least one in though, because went through all the blood and sweat of all his pieces flying across your face. He deserves a little hit. One more for the team. You guys got a lot of Mega Man 1 boss sound music there. Correct, Manic Ascendant. It's possible to get to Wily 1 and realize you're missing something. That was not a slip up, that's just Jacob paying attention to his life counts and going into one of the harder stages of the game that just decided to take an intentional continue because we start right here anyway. A wise choice. Wily 2, which is just as difficult as it was on NES. There's going to be a couple of refights and then we'll have a clone fight. So here you get to see Cutman in a whole different way. So he is weak to fire, and we covered earlier briefly that he only takes one hit with Buster Shot instead of 4 like on the NES. So using his weakness is actually welcome. The problem is the fire weapon is like good for the entire game going forth, so we try to keep as much of it as we can for like various parts of the game. Ooh, a nice big jug there. Right before a tough fight, the elect fight here. So similar as before, except he's got a lot more room to, you know. Yeah, that was great. I'll take that any day. Couple cluster bombs here, and like I said, even just that little bit refill of fire can go a long way. Here we got like the Susie drop that I like to call. You can use weapons like fire or elect to basically wipe some stuff while we're coming down. There's a nice big jug. Like I said, like refilling the fire is like a gold mine. Jacob just found a gold mine. Go. And a 1-up. Didn't even have to take your intentional death. Alright, so the clone fight. So if you're not familiar with this fight, it's just a clone of Mega Man that sort of has a basic pattern movement, but he does have the same weapon as you do. You can do some fancy jump wiggles to like poke him. So we can benefit greatly of the fire around the shield here, so even if you miss your projectile, you can still hit him. If you run out of fire, which is entirely possible, but you want to switch to ice, which does the same amount of damage, but you don't have that shield to rely on, so you really need to land the projectile shots. Alright, we're through Wily 2, now we're headed to Wily 3. If there's any donations or anything like that to read, now's the perfect time. This is like a chill walk stage. If we're waiting for after the run, that's fine as well. This is the Walk of Shame. Fortunately, on Wily Wars, we don't have a choice. We have to walk. Fortunately, they gave you like water to traverse faster. Because they knew. They're like, oh man, they will just power off their console if they have to walk at this normal speed. The copybot's fight is very different. So in this game, as soon as the copybot dies, another one spawns. We just got 4! You got some really good luck there. So it's random where the copybot spots, but if you shoot from the left to the right and the rock arcs to hit, like, you can hit up to 4 with if they spawn at the right place. So the quad hit there, that is, I don't know what's the chance to get that, but it's not very high. And he even got a double after that. So there you go. You guys got to see it in a marathon. That's no joke. What a treat. We're already into the final stage here. We're going to shortly arrive to our capsule fights. We're going to see the magnet beam for the last time in Mega Man 1. Say bye to the magnet beam. As you can see, it shoots quite slow. Okay, we're going for the... Oh, I don't remember the name of that item. I was going to say, somebody can correct me. There you go. So, Yoshi, thank you. Which has been part of this marathon for the incentives. Alright, the Bomb Man's a little different in this one, so you just kind of want to stay in the portal and he's going to get stuck in there for you. Thank you, Bomb Man. Fire's the same, we'll be using the ice weapon. Two more hits. The difference here, we can't jump right away, so you have to like walk out of the portal and then do your jump. You have like less move to maneuver around the house shots. So the bomb here is, you hope that it lands. There we go. You can't like pause glitch on this one, so you actually have to land 3 bombs. That's a good spot to be in. Even if it looks dangerous for you, the fact that you can just guarantee the bombs to land is what you want. Alright, we're almost done with Mega Man 1. And just as a reminder, the run doesn't end here. There's like 3 other games that we have to do after this one. So the boss here has 2 phases and weak to fire shots. And now you gotta hit the crystal right above his cannon. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can rely on the fire shot projectile, or you can go closer with the shield. Bam! Mega Man 1. Out of the park. At 2630 or so. GG Mega Man 1. Jumping straight into Rotman 2. I would say this is probably the favorite of many in the Mega Man series. And we start with Airman because it's one of the good songs and people want to hear good songs. So good choice, Jacob. As you can see, there'll be a lot of the same strategy here using the damage boost button. And another thing we haven't talked about that is more used in this run is it looks like your runs are going to be, or your jumps are going to be short. You can actually press pause and unpause and you reset Mega Man's velocity and you can just repeat that and get a longer distance, and we might see it again here in a moment. The Thunder Lords here, you kind of want to kill them before you get on their clouds. There we go. It is a marathon, so if you see a large energy orb, take it. Do you know what it's like to be built this way? Is that a question that Mega Man asks all the humans that he interacts with? That jump is actually really, really tough. No shame in missing that one. That's not the casual friendly jump. There we go. It's better. Perfect. These fan enemies can push you away or pull you to them. We didn't really talk too much about the Buster Weapon. It's not as useful in the Wily Wars. As you can see, it's quite slow. It actually generates more lag than a lot of things. And doesn't do a lot of damage overall, so it's kind of a use when you have to weapon. Alright. Speaking of have to use, Buster to kill Airman. We're looking for good patterns. That was a okay one, but we got hit. So he only takes 2 damage, much like if you were playing Rockman 2, the Japanese version. Yep. Perfect. We got out. We got out. What comes after air? Well, if it ain't breathing, I don't know what it is. So we're also gonna get an item here from Dr. Wiley. Item 2, more specifically, which is like the equivalent of your rush jet, I like to call them. So it's like a little jet that you can ride. And it's actually quite useful in Mega Man 2 Wily Wars. We use it as a stepping stone. We can also use it as a ride. We're gonna clash, man. I think this is one of my favorite Genesis versions of the song. There we go. You got a good example there of where you can grab the ladder really far if you jump across it. The Mets, oh, they're always in the way. There's no Mets that are useful, unfortunately. Not to us. That little jump is really tight to get. There we go. Perfect. There's another tight one here. We'll see if you can get it. Oh. You can actually just reset the room. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Quite dangerous on health here. Dangerously low. This is when you gotta put your tough gloves on and know that, you know, everything's on the line. You are the enemy that goes out. Ooh, unless it's a meth, then you get a second chance because it's only one hit. That's actually really smart. I would have been like, oh well, I'm dead. But you can use the air shot. And I hated that of Mega Man. If you get hit right by a transition, it would transition you, hit you, transition you back. Yeah, Mr. Stone, that's quite true. This game is relatively glitchless. I shouldn't say that. There are glitches. They're just not all reliable in a speedrun. And we ran out of jet, so now we gotta take the other path. It's okay. We know what we're doing. This is as intended. There are some glitches in this game. It's actually interesting because there are glitches in this game that are currently only possible on emulator and not possible on console. And for this reason, the said glitches are not currently permitted in a run. I don't know where we are at with that incentive, but there's incentive bridges, so you show off some of the stuff that you can't see. A little showcase at the end of the run. Here's Clashman, he takes 3 one-shots instead of 2. Ooh, 1 HP hero. Yeah, so that stage, we almost didn't get out of it, but we got out of it. That's what's important. Now we get the Clash weapon, which is actually really strong in this stage. It's not only useful against bosses, but it's actually useful against a lot of enemies. And we'll be seeing that. Quick stage. It's actually a little bit of a nerve-wracking stage, not because of the beams, because the beams are real cool, but the boss is so hard in this one. switch to air here because they one-shot these Chankies. That's like one of the only Mega Man enemies I'll actually call by their name. I should have said like Torch, Fire, Flame guy here, like everybody else, but no, Chankies. So here, as long as you know where the beams are going, there's no problem. They're actually a little slower than on NES. But that last one, it's pretty fast. 2 wind shots destroys one of these guys. Alright, just like that, we're at quick damageless there. It's really nice because this boss is, like I said, pretty scary. So any amount of health that you don't have is not good. So quick is weak to crash, but if he dodges a shot, then he clamps on the wall and you can't shoot him until it finishes blowing up. But he's intentionally waiting there to know if he's going to jump or not, and that was a perfect fight. It didn't look like he was doing fast strats, but that's really fast. Good job. Out of that one. And you have exact ammo, as you can see, on top of that. The air shot would be your backup. Alright, now we're headed to Middlemen, everybody's favorite. There's a good optional E-Tank here. I usually recommend to take it in the speedrun because this stage on the Genesis is a lot about damage boost taking, so an E-Tank is actually great to take, but if you don't need it, then use an extra E-Tank. As you can see, we're almost already dead. Jump, 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 jump. There we go. There's a really cool strat coming up. We'll see if Jacob gets it. You can get on the rush. The item 2. Get it across most of the stage. It needs good positioning. Gonna take an E-Tank because you can try to jump over some of these enemies and get hit. That looks good. I think that's the perfect height. One more big one to jump over. Right here. Perfect. Yeah, it's actually quite precise to get it just at the right height. And Middleman is way too quick as he was in NES. And there's a glitch here, so if you hold the shot while the boss fight is loading, Middleman will kind of get stuck to the floor here. So you won't jump over unless you cross to his half of the stage. Nice little glitch, which is a nice throwback to the NES one. You can do pretty much the same thing. And Shimei, you're in the chat. Now you've seen it. Now you can do it. Bubble Man. Bubble Man is kind of one of the relaxing stages, but there's one real tough trick here, and it's getting the item 2 to come out right here. I personally don't even use the item 2 here. I'm like, never mind. Because of that, because those frogs are always in the way. Alright. Now we switch to metal, and a metal is actually just as overpowered as it was in NES. So you can shoot this weapon in directions. You have plenty of ammo for everything. Got good damage. The only difference, the only thing that kind of makes it tough to use is when you're shooting a metal blade and you're on the ground, you stay in place. So you kind of have to try to shoot it while you're running, preferably, or jumping. anchor yourself down. Uh-oh. Jumped a little too early there. We're gonna have to do the walk again. Good news, well, the big fishies are gone. But the shrimp remain. Oh. 2 deaths. I'll have to do Bubble Man again. Oh no, everybody's gonna get to see Bubble Beam and Bubble Stage again. Everybody's upset, right? More Mega Man content, like, so sad. Showing off that you can hold right and not fall off the jet. No more spikes. The game was not nice like some newer games. Like, I played some newer games where they're like, why are you failed the spike jump 3 times? We'll remove the spikes now. The old consoles didn't do that pretty good. You do it well, try again. And it ain't gonna get easier until you do it. It's actually faster to deboost through these frogs here because they take so many hits. Take like 6 or 8 blades. Couple crabs. And we're on to Bubble Man. It's actually a little bit of a harder fight. He's not totally free in this one, but the Jacob has a lot of health. And the main reason why he's not totally free is, well, he doesn't take 8 damage, he just takes 4. And the other is, the iframes are just longer, so he gets to bump out a couple extra attacks. Bubble Man popped out and fell into waters. I don't know. Somebody will find his helmet, his scuba gear outfit, with all of his body disintegrated eventually. Let's go, Flash Man. Everybody's been waiting for this one, no bet. Huh. The song doesn't sound at all like I had in my head. That's because it's Genesis. We use the air shot a lot in this because it's 1 or 2 shots enemies. If you concentrate the shot when they're really close before the tornadoes separate, then they do more damage. Let's see, the tornado is a pretty strong weapon in this game. Taking a safe route here to go over its head. Perfect. We're going to switch to the Clash Bomb here. Get the tank and crash the wall in front of us. There we go. We'll be using Metal Blades on Flashman. The Flashman jumps when you shoot him. At a certain interval, he doesn't always jump, but we just let him jump on us here in the corner. I agree with you, man. Flashman is like one of the most iconic songs of the series. Everybody knows it. Even somebody who doesn't play Mega Man has heard it. it's from, but they know they've heard it. Time to turn up the heat of this run. I got nothing. My puns are terrible today. Sorry, RGL fans. Probably because it one-shots all these smaller enemies. And it has a kind of wide hitbox, so you don't actually need to aim your buster. We're going to switch to item 2 shortly. Voila, a little stepping stone. Or actually keep it here so we can go over this little gap coming up. Oh yes, we can do the item 3 strat. Why not? That's pretty fast. That's Fahrenheit. If it's Fahrenheit, that means we should be able to make the jump. Because if it was unFahrenheit, then we have to use an item 3 to make it over. Right. It's the famous Jakobdoesathing pit, fire pit, and we'll do it exactly the same way that you want to do it. By riding the jump. Nice pose. So the fight is the same as NES, so you'll do this little charge after you shoot him. The difference is the charge is kind of slow, so you can very much more easily dodge it. Voila. Is that only Woodman left? Almost, or maybe. We're almost out of the robos already, aren't we? We're doing good. I hope everybody's having fun. He looks so mad. I mean, a lot of these people are mad scientists for a reason. Just give me the power. I want to be 0. Wait, how do you know about that? Woodman. I actually like the addition of this song as well. And you will see the power of the Clash Bomb even when you're not fighting a boss. Boom, one shot. Clash of the Bunnies is a movie about bunnies and clash shots. Couple strats we can use here. There's Metal Blade, there's Quick. Metal Blade I think is recommended just because you can use the favorable angles. And you can freeze the screen here. The reverse zip. You guys got to see one. It wasn't even useful in this case. Right, coming up is the outdoor screen with gorillas. If Jacob plays it right, he can place a really good item too here and get it across real smoothly. See what happens. That doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little low for the whole ride. Oh wow, you actually got the perfect one, but you couldn't stay on the jet. There we go. So if you, in this game, you can subpixel it or you know, make it go into the hole all the way to the ladder. But the enemies decided that you were going to get knocked off. Alright, pretty smooth stage. So because the metal blades and the longer iframes don't deal with Woodman as quickly here, we're going to be using 2 full fire charge shots, or heat charge shots, sorry. And oh, don't you love this charge sound. It sounds like a drill into a wall. it's running out of batteries. It's like, you're stuck in a knot and you're running out of batteries. Alright, just like that, we're done to eat robos. How's the eyebrows in this version? Well, it's the same ones. They're pretty good. The ship has gotten smaller. I don't know if Wiley's budget was getting short. He's got like a smaller ship this time around. Hey, here's a bad joke. What is Wiley's favorite video game console? And the answer is Wii U, Wii U, Wii U. Because, you know, the alarm sound. I'd leave, but hey, I got some commentary to do. Enjoy the song. I'm gonna stop talking here for like 20 seconds just so everybody can enjoy some Wiley 1. I want to see all the jams. Coming up is the famous impossible gap. We'll be using 3 items to do it. It's actually a little harder than on NES in my opinion, but hey, Jacob did it real smooth. Good job. We'll be switching to quick here. And everybody tell us, do you prefer the Mecha Dragon of NES or the one of Genesis, which is coming? There's kind of like some screen twitching happening here on Genesis, which is a little bit more annoying. You can't mash them as fast here. You're gonna hear a mess. Keep him busy. Want him to stay with you as much as you can. Jumping on the top block is sometimes recommended. That was not bad. That was not bad. Oksan man. Alright, Wily 1 is done. Wily 1 is done. They like the song so much that they decided, let's just put it in 2 stages. Oh no. Or is as intended. This is RNG manipulation. Take 2. Ah, yeah. You didn't have to crash the party. A couple strats you can use here. You can either use the flash or you can use the Jacob opting for the flash, which is what I like as well. Ooh, the lag. Or sorry, the blast processing, I should say. It's not lag. So here's where things turn to the difference. You'd think you'd switch to Metal Blade, but nope. We're switching to Bubble. Yeah, it takes 1 shot to kill these little machines with the Bubble. Some of these shots with the Bubble are precise. can do quite a bit of damage too. It's either 4 or 6. It's a fair amount of damage. And it's important not to waste bubbles because we need like almost our... Let's just say it like that, we'll need all of our bubbles for the rest of the stages. Exactly, Manic. I agree. Bubbles should be everywhere because they make children smile. By the way, speaking of children, just a reminder that while you're enjoying these awesome Genesis video games on the screen right now, that RGL TV is doing this event to raise funds for the Feed the Kids 2021. It's their 4th edition, I believe, of this event. So Feed the Kids is a non-profit organization that helps kids that really need it. And they do it out of the goodness of their hearts. Not getting paid to do it, which is pretty incredible. I don't think there's a reason in the world to let somebody not have food. This ride. You can do !donate in the chat if you want to donate to the cause. Gotta switch to quick here. This boss still lead to quick, but we can't mash him as much, so we kind of have to hold our shots and be close to his face to because there's only one projectile. Once one projectile comes out, the other one can. So it's a little bit better to be close to Guts Tank's face. And just like that, we're headed into, you might call this Purple Hell normally, but we'll call it slightly less than Purple Hell in this case. It's more like a bluish purple. You guys can decide what color it is. Purple and blue hell. I like it. Blueberry hell. How about that? It's kind of a blueberry color, right? Or grape hell. Alright. Now we've climbed all of that, and Mega Man's like, ooh, so we're at the top, right? Yeah, but now you gotta come down, and there's spikes everywhere. Nice walk. Here we'll potentially wait for the platform. You can take damage here and walk to the middle, but a little risky. Oh no, I'm gonna stop talking about spikes, because they're magnetic today. Try this again. So there are a couple strats here. The safe strat is this one, where you take the wood shield and just keep it on you. And you can sort of just ride the platform around. It is possible to use some items there to make that jump onto that pillar, but it's just she's a difficult one. So we'll ride across with everything we got left. Alright, switching to quick here. And I'll we haven't used any flash bombs in excess so far, so we should need to refill here. We have plenty of item 1 as well. Clean Wily 1 climb. This is Blue Beam. And if you're not familiar with this boss, the only way you can kill him is using crash bombs. And normally on NES you have 2 extra crash bombs. Well, on Genesis they decided this fight is not annoying enough. You only have 1 spare crash bomb. Jacob's gotta be careful, and there's a lot of lag as you can see. Throw one right to the corner here and that will blow up that bomb plus the wall. Probably want to use an E-tank. There we go. And the extra crash bomb that we have is actually super important because it makes the Wily fight a lot less of a headache. But it's not a free crash bomb. I have to put it down precisely. Time for refunds. We're an hour into the run. Close to halfway point of the run, approximately. The Mega Man 3 is a little bit longer than the other games, which is coming up right after this one. Alright, our first boss is Clash. No different. 3 air shots. The difference here, we will keep air and we will do a fair amount of sub-weapon damage with air on quick, which is weak to flash, but unfortunately, like, a full bar of flash only does like half of Quick Man's health, if that. But it really doesn't do that much, so this should be enough to get him down, but then you'll have to use something to finish him off. As you saw, like, I don't know why they ever made that his weakness that bad. Very strong. Right, our girl for Neat. A little bit more bubbles than he does, so it takes 5 levels. Every mini boss drops health, which you're not required to pick up, but it's certainly a good option if you took more damage than you wanted to. He'll try to get some leaf shields to go through, kind of for the tornadoes. Man will be the same. We'll do 2 heat charge shots. Everybody's favorite charge inside. Alright, switching the metal. Pretty much the rest of these 3 fights. We'll do bubble, metal, flash, and you could even argue that you could stay on the lead forward. It's still very useful. You would think that. I like it. I like it, David. Middleman is actually weakest to his own weapon, which is kind of strange. 2 shots. Here you kind of want to time your blade so it's jumping, and then you'll just sort of let him jump on until we're lazy. There we go. Alright, Wiley. So the first phase we'll do with the metal blades, which you want to throw some metal blades onto the glass part of the ship in the front. It only does 1 damage, but now we'll switch to flash. Try to land it. Kind of want to shoot it under his ship. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It wasn't a kill, but try trust me, getting maybe 3/4 down was a long way in this fight. This fight is not free. Here we go. You saw he even using the E-tank, he lost almost half with only a bit of the bar left. Right, now we have one more fight left, and we're gonna hug aliens. Not. We're gonna switch to bubble. And the difference with this fight and the NES one is you can't mash shots in quickly. So the boss has a certain level of iframes, which are pretty much impossible to tell when you're looking. But you can lose a lot of bubbles that will take damage if you mash too quick. So what Jakob's going to do is place some very precise shots. And another thing is while the bubble's on screen, it generates the lag and considerably slows down Wily's patterns. So I'm going to try to just pop in 2 or 3 per cycle or something like that. Tank, and our bubbles are tightly routed here, so we won't have much left at the end. You can miss a few, but not that many. Bubble count is healthy right now, though. Almost there. 1, 2, and 3. Bam! That's Mega Man 2. In 1 hour, 6 minutes after 2 completed games. We are now headed to Mega Man 3. And the game is about to get fast. Like real fast. I think this is the most fun sliding of any Mega Man game, in my opinion. Like, you should see the speed that you can slide this. Like, if you play this game and you haven't tried, and then you start playing, you're like, you're flying. It's so fun. And the music is good because it's Mega Man 3. There's no Mega Man Boss in my wars, unfortunately, Tiki. Sorry. Although their heads are shaped similarly. Just a little bit oversized. These are cats, and these cats are deadly in a way. If you actually jump into the cat himself without iframes, he can one-shot you. Deadly cat. Very different music. I agree with you. But you gotta learn to love it. That's what all Genesis folks do. You learn to love it. I used to call these 2Ps because in French it would be a 2P. Right, fight is similar here. We're going to try to 2-cycle him, but if we 3-cycle him, it's not impossible. I'm not counting the first one here. This would be 1 cycle. Looks like it'll be a 3. Just got the 4th out. Little spin guy. Okay. I'll be right back for a minute. I have to step away. I'll leave you with Jakob's awesome play. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. We're into the Shadow Man stage. And you saw that things were dark, now we're continuing. These hoppers are a little bit easier in this game. And speaking of easier, these parachutes are really not a challenge compared to the NES. They kind of drop slower or we move fast or whatever. So we just ignore them. Okay, so we're going to try to use the top spin here into Shadow Man, which is a close range weapon. Here we go. Good job. And that was Shadow Man. I hope my description was great. Next is Needle. Needle Man is actually a difficult stage and a difficult boss. So we're just going to ignore these because we don't have anything good to deal with them at this point, honestly. Character bid award. I like that. Is there an incentive command? Is it exclamation point incentive? Should check those out. Or I believe when you donate, it shows you like the upcoming incentives too. So if you consider donating, you can actually see them right on your screen. There you go. Thank you, Tempest Steve. Needle spikes. They hurt. You know what hurts more? Dropping in the pit. But we can use this as a form of solace by saying, hey, we have a lot of health for in the upcoming hard part. I grab an E-Tank here. Definitely a welcome addition to our arsenal of weapons. There's a really cool trick here. If you cast Rush right here, you can pretty much get this whole ladder out of the way. We're going to switch to Shadow here. Shadow is Needle's off weakness, so it only does 2 damage. But that's what we're fighting him with. It's kind of a long, prolonged fight, and you have to really understand how Needle works to avoid his attacks. That's why we get the E-Tank, because it's not always easy. Body damage, of course, does way more, so we're trying to avoid him or his little... when he throws his hair at you. Yeah, I call it his hair. When he headbutts you. Alright, that's Needle. We're out. I do like this weapon gets green though, they did a good job with it. Nice details into the Mega Man sprite. Next up is Magnet. I gotta talk to KLM and Bass Guitar Build. They have lyrics for this song. This is Proto. Or, not Proto, you know what I mean. Braithman. And we use Shadow Blade because we've covered already that the Buster is kind of not very good. Which is a welcome addition. If you're not a masher, then you probably would appreciate that difference. Like me. Here we go, we're going to switch to Jet, and a couple of particularities about Jet is when you're riding it, everything's fine, but when you're jumping off of it like this, then your energy is not used while you're not on rush. So this actually saves your weapon energy. Here we go to the Magnum Man Boss. I think he only takes like 4 Shadow Blades. He's like really weak to this. Good job. Out with Magnet. Okay, now we get the Magnet Missile, which is a magnet that shoots and magnetizes towards enemies, as it says. And we're going to the boss that needs it. The Hardman stage. Let's switch to Shadow Blade here because it's a really good weapon against the bee stuff. If we shoot it right there, we can shoot the bee. Missed it, but that's okay. I kind of like this version of the song. And we see the only zip that's possible in the speedrun on both console and emulator right there. So if you use Rush and we covered earlier that you can basically go through unlimited amounts of vertical ascension in a screen transition like this. Then you can actually grab way higher. So we use that to use Rush Jet to basically jump into the wall at the transition and use it to the left. So it's like one of the few zips that are actually useful in speedrun. Besides the refight skip, which is currently only possible on emulator, but if we do find it possible on console, it's gonna pretty much change the face of this game. We got another one of these sword and shield guys. Buster and shield guys. And just like that, we got one more little big stump robot. The plunger bot. And we're gonna switch to Magnet. Which is boss week 2. This fight can be kind of scary. If you get off script here, you can do quite a bit of damage fast. If you're going to take damage, try to take it from his hands, not from his body. Because his body does a whole ton of damage compared to his hard knuckles. Alright, Hardman is over. get the hard knuckle, which is like a slowly projectile throwing fist that you can control a little bit its trajectory. Very powerful weapon, but a very slow weapon at consuming. And speaking of really good jams, Snake Man, one of the favorites. I kind of like that it has like a, on the Genesis, it has like a little bit of a lower vibe to it. It's a different one. It's like a mellow version. But you can clearly hear the bass way more. 2 free lives for safety here. Might as well. So as you can see, like, we can slide so fast in this game that using like weapons and such are not always as useful than just sliding your way through enemies and just making it through. There's a really cool strat that we're about to see here though. If you get hit while you're on Rush Jet, you can sort of get this really fast speed boost like that. What's that? Exactly. And we like to go fast, so we do the fast things. Right, and here we talked about how like jumping off of the jet actually reduces your ammo. As you can see, barely used any across all of that bit. Here's Snake Man, which is weak to needle, which we'll be gladly using. Thanks for beating needle earlier. One more snake down. This song gets stuck in my head, even if it's like over, I still hear it. You do 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 do. Now we get the search snake, which is like a little snake that you throw on the ground and it travels in a direction that you shot, but it can go around. It takes the form of a tile, so it can go around tiles on the ground, and then it can climb up the wall if it needs to. Good old friend Spark. I think this is one of my all-time favorite themes in all Mega Man games, period. We're going to use a couple of these jet strats here to get through faster. There we go. Can't ride these blocks here, but hey, why risk it? You can take some safety health here. No shame in that. That's a nice little rush refill. In case we need more. And now they're just popping the refills like it's going out of style. The famous drop of nothing. Here, if you're fast, you can just outslide these blocks. Oh, you missed one. At least you don't die. Go. And we're already at the boss. That was quick. It was spark, not quick. You know, it was fast like a spark. There we go. This boss, quite easy with the Shadow Blade. He just sort of jumps over you, but then he can do these charge bullets. I guess he just did it right at the end there. He was taking his sweet time. I do apologize in advance if my commentary for Mega Man 3 and Wiley Tower are a little bit more dry. It's because I don't know them as much, but I'm glad to give Jacob a hand so he can focus on his run. It's Mega Man, right? He just slide and jump and charge and shoot some weapons and you win. Now we go to Gemini. Gemini's a cool guy, right? There's a couple of strategies you can use here. One strategy you can use rush to stay on top of the screen. It's a little safer, but it's a little bit slower. What are you gonna do what Jacob is doing now? Just benefit from the fact that your slide is really fast, but your movement has to be really good. Mega Man's still annoyed on the screen. Now we're gonna see these little eggs I like to call, so you can break them to make your path. But when you break them, it creates an enemy. So you sort of want to shoot them twice real quick to get rid of the enemy. They're like tadpole eggs. Right? Through the big penguins, no problem. Now we're coming up to a pretty nerve-wracking stage. I'm sure you'll all remember this famous screen if you played Mega Man 3. You can slide on these blocks, but there's of course a risk factor to it. Good job using Rush Jet there, which follows you. So if you fall, you're safe. Got the E-Tank and we're out of here. One last little boost and we'll jump over this guy. And, oh, took damage here, so we'll have to be careful. Gemini's weakness is Snake, and that's what we'll be using to fight him. So he sort of splits into two and has a clone, so you want to, once you take one out at half HP, then he'll disappear and he'll start doing a different pattern. Like this. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, he died. The good part is Snake ammo is plenty, so we can just try again with full health. Apparently my family decided it was time to send a bunch of messages. Alright, Gemini take 2. Good shot. This of course will be the one time that you take like just a little bit of damage. As you can see, one extra snake on the screen just does so much damage. Gemini out. Now we get the Gemini laser, or the noodle laser as we like to call it in the community. Pretty good weapon, but if you miss, it's going to bounce around and cause a whole ton of lag. Hello, Starcycle, welcome to the stream. Now we get to what we call the dock stages, and they're quite nerve-wracking. They're basically like 4 much more difficult stage versions of what we just did. And this is Dog Gemini. It's funny how we just finished Gemini and then we'll do like another Gemini-like stage. As you can see, there's just way more enemies. So the stage is kind of similar in layout in some ways, and then it gets a little different, but it's been laid out to be a little bit more challenging. And some of the things that are important to know is because they're like, they usually have really poor checkpoints. So like unless you beat the halfway boss, you pretty much have to restart. Speaking of mini boss, we have one here. So what's famous about the dock bosses? They merge. They put a Mega Man 2 boss in him. So this is Flashman. And in this case, he's weak to the needle. Job. We'll use Rush Jet here because Mega Man can't make this jump. And we kind of need Rush again right here. That's a lot of spikes. Perfect. Now we'll switch to Shadow because Shadow can shoot stuff in an angle. Looking for a health drop, didn't get it. I heard you like Robot Masters. I like robots, I'm not sure about the Masters part. Alright, we can do this neat drop between the spike and the ladder. The ladder sort of sets us up to be in the right position, so that's perfect. And here we're gonna fight our friend Bubble Man, which is weak to Shadow, which is fitting, you know, it's kind of similar to the Metal Blade in fashion and style. There we go. One dock stage away. Getting out of a dock stage is always a huge relief. They're arguably harder than the Wily stages, which come after. It might not be much of an argument, actually. An exhibit reference. I didn't catch it, I'm sorry, Cabin. Now we're in the Dot and Needle stage. Dot and Needle stage. We're going to be picking up an item shortly using Rush Jet. Right here, there's a 1-up for safety. There we go. And we can get the E-Tank as well. Perfect. Alright, and now we're going to fight our friend Airman. La version 3. And he's weak to Spark in this. It's kind of a scary fight because you want to pretty much out DPS him. You're hoping for a good pattern. It's gonna be close. Okay, we lived. Perfect. Alright, so this is the famous outdoor screen with all the parachutes and all those flying bugs. And we're going to do a very similar strat where we go near to the top of the screen and keep jumping off of Rush, but you do need to adjust a little bit because the enemies are smart in this one. Perfect. Made it. Now we're going to get to a screen where we have these giant Mets. Oh no. The good news is we got a bunch of refills with the jet, so we should be able to get across this pit now without too many trouble, with more health. Some extra refills along the way if we ever need them. Because of the jump mechanic that we're abusing, we can basically get out of here with like a half bar. We switch to Shadow here, which really good. There we go. One giant net out. He kind of looks like he has a medical sign on his forehead, so maybe it's a Medinet. Now we're gonna switch to top. So this is gonna be the Heat Man Doc Boss. Similar as if you basically wanna. Oh no, sorry, it was not a heat, it was a crash. I apologize. Oh, that was a scary jump. So there's a small hitbox on Mega Man that you can hit even though you're jumping under something to hit it with the top, and you nailed it on a life and death situation. Gemini, Needle dead, now we're in Spark. Dark Spark. In my opinion, this might be the easier of the four, but the boss kind of makes me change my mind. But the stage itself is probably not as bad as the other ones, in my opinion. These little things either roll you ahead or behind, so you either slow down or speed up when you walk on it. No problem for Jacob. Alright, spring guys. So now we're gonna face, let me guess if I'm good here, it's gonna be Middlemen. And he's weak to the magnet shot. It's gonna be a battle of projectiles. You can make him jump like that, which kind of stops him from doing this several blades pattern. It's on the Genesis. Ew. Said every person that didn't know how good the Genesis was. Alright. Outspeeding the blocks. This one you can't. This boss here can be a little bit scary because he does a lot of body damage, and you have to get close to kill him with the snake. So ideally, if you get hit, you want to get hit by his rings, not by his body. Tank for safety, we have extra, we definitely should. It looked like you would have gotten away with it, but sometimes just drinking the tank just makes you feel fine, and then you play better because you know you won't die. I also think the term Mega Drive sounds better than Genesis. Maybe on the name of the console alone, if it would have been called the Mega Drive in all parts of the world, maybe it would have hit better, but who knows? Too late now. We're now in the last dock stage, which is Doc's Shadow. Going into the lights out screen here in a moment. Couple ways you can do this. The safe way is this one. Let's ride the dog, and you can jump over that light. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that. So those little space-looking things turn off lights, and when you kill it or it goes off screen, the lights turn on again. So there you go. Now you guys got the trick that if you don't want to die on the opening platforms, you just use your jet over. Problem solved. Right, so now we're about to face Woodman. Really, really difficult in this one. We want to get some needle shots in there. We take a lot of damage in this fight. Pretty loud here, as you can see. That's good. And there's a heal right there. Coming up is like the second Parasio screen. Parasios are the little parachutes. In this one, unlike before, they are actually in the way very much. But you have to kill them. It's possible to kill them fast, but it's also possible that you get killed fast if you try to do it too fast. Switch to Shadow. We are about to fight. Man. We don't have the bubble, so we have to use something else. The fight is the same otherwise. Alright, we're out of Dark Shadows. Now we're headed to the wily stages.
Shouts to all my homies with the break split.
You don't have any splits right now. Spoilers. We actually fight him with Buster here. You can fight him with the blade as well. Shadow Blade. Or maybe the second one he's like super powerful. I forget it. Like maybe he's only weak to Buster. Yeah, I knew there was something fishy going on there. I was like, why is Wily Wars paying attention to Buster shots all of a sudden? We didn't get very much eyebrow there. Well, now we get to. This run has bark, what can I say? Kind of looks like a little puppy. If you look at his fortress, you got the two paws, and then you got a little puppy face in the middle. Alright, Wily won. It's like kind of like an underground sewer, I guess. There's these little flying penguins. They're kind of hard to dodge because they come on screen as soon as like you could normally dodge them. Coming through these Hammer Joes, now we go into the little Ryukyu blocks. There's a really cool strat here. See if you do it. So if you actually slide under there and hold right, you can sort of clip on the block and stay alive until the block appears, but it's mostly slide. Alright. Now we gotta kill the turtles. come out of this machine. It's done. Wily 1 is over. This is kind of an easy stage, but I mean, there's spikes everywhere, so you could die in one shot. One shot. Anyway. Mega Man 5 references dropping. Wiley 2. Wiley 2 has our favorite friend, the Easy Devil, but first we have to go through this screen with some bees and spikes. Switch to Rush Jet here. You can also switch to Shadow early on. Rush Jet is like the safe way of just not having to worry about the bees because you can fly over them. And here we'll grab some E-tanks and some refills. So now we're going to use the hard knuckle to kill the boss. You might be used to the fast right using the Shadow Blade, but in this one it's the hard knuckle that actually hurts him. Want to shoot him in the eye. Poor doggo. He was like, you should have shot him 3 times in the eye, why only 2? Dog's like, give me the controller. It's just Rush. We all know you eat Mega Man for your blood. Looks like it's going to be a 3 cycle with a short 1 hit. Big deal. The third one is fortunately real quick. And now we are out of the Easy Devil and headed into Wily 3, which has like a really dark, it's almost like intense theme. Like even more so in this version. Wow, it's like eerie dark. So it's kind of a vertical climb, and then we move to the side, and then we vertical climb again. It's not a super difficult stage. Like I said, in my opinion, I think the dock stages are harder. Switch to top. And do some spins just for fun. This is the part where good commentators would normally go wee, but he forgot. Coming up is the clone fight. There's a couple ways you can do it. Jacob will opt for the top fight, so if you climb up really fast enough, the top Wily, or the top clone is usually the one you can hit. And now we don't know. It's actually the bottom one. Now we don't know again. Now we have to find him. Okay. There he is. We got a bit of damage into him. He takes 5 top spins. Nope. There it is. We should be good now. And just like that, we're headed into like the Wily 4 or the refights, I guess. There's these little stone enemies here that we have to deal with before we get to the refights. Well, you just hop through them. Easy. Let's see if you get any of the jump slides. No. It's actually possible to slide on those blocks and jump across, but it's really difficult. We are in the refights. We'll fight Needle exactly how we fought him the first time with Shadow. Namagan's favorite Looney Tunes character is Pepe Le Pew Pew Pew. Somebody take care of Mo. Too many good fun jokes. Shadowblade, as you can see, is pretty powerful in this game as well. It was in Mega Man 3DS. It is powerful once again. Gemini will do a Shadow this time. We can do the angled shots, that's what helps. And, you know, just not menuing to another weapon. Who does that? Scary. Now we have to do Spark with not a lot of Shadow Blades. Just carefully making sure he lands every shot because he had just the right amount. I'm gonna do our friend Shadow using top. Perfect. Almost out of here, just a few more fights. We got our friend Snake. Also, we fight him with Needle. So the fights are very similar. The terrain in which you fight them is also very similar. Sometimes refights gives you a different field of play, but in this case, nope. This time this fight is very different because it was the first boss we fought. We didn't have the hard knuckle. Now we do. You can see, it's a real quick fight with it. Switch back to Magnum. Switch fight hard, man. Watch out. Okay. That refill is always nice when you're like almost dead. And we're gonna get some refills for Shadow because we want a few Shadow Blades for the next fight, which is the Wiley machine. And if we run out, we can use the Snake as well. Now we'll just go with Snake, right? Which is way powerful. So he's got two like phases. He's got a little gun underneath him here that will be shooting down first. There we go. And then we sort of have to take damage when he starts ducking down and dump him in the capsule, which we can. The other strategy, you can use Roast Jet and sort of fly on the outside and shoot him with Buster at the top, but only does one damage at a time. Ooh, we get crushed. But we can try again. cycle. Taking E-tank for safety. We got like 4 of them as well, right? Perfect. Now all we have left is our good friend Gamma. That would be a great bobblehead. They should sell one of these. I'm serious. I think it would be a great seller. Exactly, right? Gamma has 2 phases, and the first phase will stand under him and take him down with Shadow Blades. Do that right now. I don't know if you guys have played WoW, but that first phase reminds me of a Murloc. Now we will jump onto him and shoot some snakes. It is possible to go on the platform at the top to shoot some snakes as well. Preference. Slinky, that reminds me of the dog with the slinky neck, like in Toy Story. Pretty sure his name is Slinky. Just 2 more. All right, 157.44 time. Coming out of Mega Man 3. We're on pretty good pace here. I'd say we have 20-some minutes left to the run. We're headed to the last of the 4 games, called Wiley Tower. And there's only 3 stages, and like a 4th shorter stage, I would say. And one thing that you can do in this one is you can bring weapons from all the Robot Masters with you from Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. And you can bring 3 items, so it's up to you to customize what you bring. We're bringing hard fire, like ice, bubble, flash, metal, and needle. We'll bring the magnet beam, item 1, and rush jet. We're into the final stretch, called the Wiley Tower. This game is exclusive to this Wily Wars title. Cannot play this game anywhere else. So this is Snake Man stage with the clear skies. No, just kidding. I kind of like the music on this one. It's pretty chill. There's a lot of different strats you can do here. I know some runners like to bring wood shield. In this case, Jacob likes to use the metal blade. The metal blade is a very comfort pick, just for the fact that you can shoot in any direction. And like you never have to worry about running out of ammo. Here we actually get into the snake part. I wasn't joking that it was going to be a snake-like stage. Like a jungle. Couple miners here, miners in the jungle. I'm not sure what they're looking for. They're constructing the jungle, it feels like. Something doesn't feel right about that choice of enemies, but it's a video game. Yeah, there's a way to you can basically shoot a hard knuckle on the same frame that you get into the boss door and basically skip this whole fight. And now we have to try to throw some knuckles in while he's not blocking projectiles. There we go. They're a minor convenience. This manic guy, somebody hire him. Need some puns. Now we're going to Mega Water S. So ideally you want to choose a set of weapons that is good for you for all stages, which I believe is what Jacob is doing. So this is Bubble Man with some better gems. This might be my favorite unique song. You have a question, Shimi? I might not have the answer, but I'll try. What's up? I thought you were gonna fall in the hole there. That was scary. That you don't. What does it happen if you run wild derby? I mean, you might not be able to, I don't have the answer offhand because I haven't touched the cart in a while there, Shime, but you basically should have a file that's got Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 cleared that you can load, is my guess. Alright, we're up to the boss, which is weak to ice. He sort of just hangs out on his platforms at the top if you're nail him properly, if I remember. There you go. Oh, there we go. A nice little shot underneath the water jet. We got one more boss, or one more stage before the final stage. This is Hyperstorm, I believe. Yeah. Hemorrhages to deal with. As we said before, sliding is fast, so you should just ignore them. Alright. Cheese in the whole screen, like a speedrunner. We sort of see like every screen has a little bit of enemies that we saw in certain previous stages of the game. It almost feels like a Mega Man Maker stage where they're just throwing stuff on each screen that's different that we haven't seen yet. Really cool strat there. So we talked about earlier that when you shoot metal blades that you don't move. Well, because he's shooting metal blades, the rolling platforms actually doesn't carry him into the hole. You can safely kill that guy on the other end. I like it. So Hyperstorm is weak to fire, and there's actually something really unique about this boss. He just... Exactly. I meant the health bar part. He's kind of junky. And he sort of just tries to eat you, and you just want to slide away and shoot a projectile when you turn around. He does have another attack though. Now he pushes you away. I don't know why he'd push you away. That's kind of lame. There are spikes on the walls. That's the true thing. That's a good question, Chaco. I've never checked myself. We're already getting to the end of the run. I'm gonna give like the wily stages, if you will. We call it Wally. Probably like climbing the tower, so tower stage 1 is probably the name that you would give it. That big eye looks kind of small to me. It's like a mini eye. That's fair, Apple Button. I'm hoping I'm saying your name right. The pause glitch is definitely useful, especially like on knockback. Like a lot of the Mega Man games are meant to like knock you back at really unfortunate times, so you fall in pits or spikes. That kind of negates all of that. It's a nice rust check using. Now this screen's pretty cool. This is like the guts fire. That's what I just call it. Even though it's pretty short, I wish it would have been longer. A longer vertical ride.
Well, I mean, there is another room if you went the other path like that.
Yeah, now we're fighting like a two-headed, not a two-headed dragon, but like a dragon in the fire. It's like a fucking dragon, I don't know. Dragon meets lemons on the fire face. Weed to bubble. Got him. One pattern. Perfect. Couple more stages to go. Here we go, Wiley Tower 2. Yeah, we almost missed the one cycle there, but just made it. Alright. I kinda like this song. It's way too cheerful for a Wiley stage, but I still love it.
I feel like the song would fit the end credits.
Yeah. That's what I feel like doing. I feel like dancing with like my big like whose smile should I say? Like an earnest smile. Like a hey. By the way, if there are any donations, they will be read during the intermission after the run. So be sure to donate and you will be read. We are raising funds for Feed the Kids through our GLTV's platform. Their 4th annual event. And we still have a couple days to go, so let's do it. Well, it's pretty much today and tomorrow, right?
I got a little bit tomorrow.
That's the song I get stuck in my head. There's a Mega Man 5 reference up there, but we won't take it. Nice damage boost on the egg there. 2 of them. That speed boost is actually really underrated, like it's really fast. The Wiley 2 boss. Wiley Tower 2 boss.
It's a ball that shoots Gemini laser. Never thought of this?
It's a noodle ball. Alright, we're through. We got 2 more stages. We're getting there. We're at a pretty good pace too. I don't want to jinx stuff too much, so.
One to either. This is literally the worst stage in the entirety of Wiley Tower. I had a run going once, and I died in the last screen.
Sorry about that.
Because just remember, these Wiley stages don't have checkpoints. If you die, you're going all the way back to the start.
This is the Galaxy Man stage of the Genesis.
Doesn't have as banger as a track, but background wise, yeah.
I kind of like it though. It's like a space stage meets Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The Space Busters. Use our knuckle to break the wall. Not the eggs, oh no.
No sprite limit go forward.
Alrighty, it's going well. It looks like there's 2 possible paths to get out there. I'm assuming you took the fastest because you're a speedrunner. Couple gumball machine cannons. Is that what they are, right? Oh, that's
This is the room I died in. I was literally 30 seconds in the red. I could have brought it back, but no. I had to hold the left and die. Heartbreaking.
You do have any tank if you ever need to die.
I'm saving that for Wiley though, because this, I just sit here, goes to Buster Rod, lost his rod, now he's just resorted to a Buster.
This is kind of a weird fight because the platforms will start falling. Here we go.
Very dramatic fight.
They set the scene, but they didn't set the fight.
I find it ironic that both Buster Rod fights we just stand still and just shoot hard knuckle.
Alright, Wiley Tower 4. If you didn't like the other songs, maybe you'll like this one.
Oh, Miss Painfish. Oh yeah, Miss Painfish.
This is the Middlemen stage with more metal.
Featuring Wily 6. And Training Man.
Exactly. It's time to break him. I guess he just helped you, like all games. He ends up helping you. This is the Wiley fight, final fight. Got a couple of phases. So sometimes you gotta shoot him in the knees in the first phase, yeah. As you can see, he's way too tall, so we need to use these platforms. Trying to break. He kind of has to walk back before he like changes phases. Right, now we're playing Punch Out. You gotta dodge. That's a lot of damage. Right, we're almost there, guys. Now we got the famous Wiley capsule phase. He sort of drops these turtle bombs, I like to call it, but you can basically lock them in place almost if you do it right.
GG's.
GG. PB, that was a... Oh, you reset your timer. That's a 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 29 seconds, I believe.
Yep.
Is that a PB?
4-minute PB.
That's what I thought. You had a little 220 like before the marathon.
Marathon PB is real.
There you go. PB in a marathon.
Wiley tried to give us a point pellet, but it was trapped. We don't want your stupid point pellets. They haven't been back since Magnum Man 1 for a reason.
He was trying to give you a warhead. So here, have a warhead candy. Congrats on the PB. You did it.
I did a thing. Unfortunately, I don't think our incentive was met, so that means no Magnum Man 3 refight skip, sadly. But still, very good. Long game. This is probably the second longest Magnum Man speedrun I think there is, next to Battle Network, but I think this and I think this and X Command Mission are two of the longest single game speedruns on Magnum Man leaderboard.
Yeah, the Mega Man Legends are also fairly long.
Very true.
Any shoutouts you want to do, Jacob?
Shoutouts to Sean Gabriel, who helped me a lot with Mega Man 2 strats. Shoutouts to the homies at the Classic Mega Speedrunning Discord. We are amazing. If you want to stop by, learn some Mega Man speedruns, ask for help with like time challenges, come on in. We're always open.
And make sure you stick around because we got more Mega Mans, I'm pretty sure, with Tempest Mask. We got something with Tempest Mask.
We got Mega Man Extreme 2. Looks like we're going to be doing Zero Route.
He's really good at that game, and he might have a really cool intro. He usually tries to make an intro out of his start of the run, so we'll see. We'll see what Tempest Mask has up this time. But yeah. Thanks for having me, Jacob.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Yeah. And let's take a break and be back soon for some more content. Stick around.